What's up, sports bettors? I just found an incredible bet, Minnesota Wild plus 110 on Bovada. So I hit it for $1,000, and what we're going to do is we're going to run through why this bet is so profitable. So you can see on the OddsJam Positive EV tool, it's the top profit margin play. For all of the books I have selected, it's the most profitable bet with a profit margin of 4.08%. And I'm going to show you why this bet is profitable and why you have such high confidence as a sharp sports bettor that this is a play you want to be on. So the first thing you're going to notice is this play also shows up on the OddsJam Arbitrage Tool. So if you're not aware of arbitrage, what arbitrage means is a market is crossed, right? Because sportsbooks set lines differently from one another, sometimes they get so out of whack, as you can see right here with the line on the Minnesota Wild on Bovada, that you can place a bet on equal and opposite outcomes. In this case, it would be the Stars money line and the Wild money line, and make a risk-free profit due to discrepancies in bookmaker odds. So you can see right here, the Stars are minus 105 on Pinnacle. So you only have to bet $105 on the Stars, on Pinnacle to win back 100. They're literally even money, right, with the Wild, minus 105, minus 105. On Bovada, you can get plus 110 on the Wild. So this is a big discrepancy, right? Minus 105, plus 110, minus 130. So it's on the arbitrage tool, right? This is one of the rare few betting opportunities, and I'm not saying these opportunities are common, but again, because sportsbooks have, 50,000 odds on their site at any given time, they're all trying to set lines independently. Sometimes they screw up. And here's an example of sportsbooks screwing up, right? Bovada and Pinnacle, there's a huge line discrepancy where you can bet on the Stars on Pinnacle, the Wild on Bovada, and earn a risk-free profit of 1.16%. So you can pull up an arbitrage calculator, and if you have both these sportsbooks, you literally could just arb this. And let's say on Bovada, where we want to bet, or let's say on Pinnacle, our bankroll is $500. So what this calculator is going to tell us is, hey, bet $500 on the Stars at minus 105 odds, bet $465 on the Wild at plus 110, and you'll earn a risk-free profit of 1.16%, which is $11.34. So that may seem small, right? Earning a risk-free profit of 1.16%, but you have to remember, first of all, this is risk-free money. If your bankroll is $500 on Pinnacle, you click around a few buttons, you place the bet, you just made a risk-free profit of $11.34. You're $11.34 richer. But what you also need to remember is this return is daily. It's 4:30 right now, so this game starts in 30 minutes. I just placed this bet, so you could place this arbitrage bet now. So the game's going to be over in 3 hours. You're earning a 1.16% risk-free return in 3 hours, right? So you can imagine if you placed 1.16% arbitrage bets every single day, essentially 1.16, let's say there's 30 days in a month, you would be growing your bankroll risk-free, placing arbitrage bets like this one, 34.8% every month, right? So let's say your bankroll is $2,000. Next month it would be 2,000 times 1.348. Your bankroll would be 2.7K roughly. So I actually started out arbitrage betting, and I probably made my first $40,000 doing it, just literally making risk-free money due to inefficiencies in the market. Out of the tens of thousands of odds kind of on DraftKings, oftentimes these arbitrage bets are in baseball sometimes they're in college basketball. They can be in any sport, right? It's just when sportsbooks get super out of sync with each other. They're all trying to set lines independently, so sometimes you can hit equal and opposite outcomes and make a risk-free profit. So, this is also why you want to have more sportsbook accounts. If I didn't have Bovada and Pinnacle, I couldn't place this arbitrage bet. So you may be thinking like, okay, so did you arb this? And what we can do is, first of all, let's just go through the math of an arb. So let's say you bet, you follow this calculator, roughly, you bet $500 here. On the Stars at minus 105, you bet $465. Let's say you round up to $465, and you bet $465 on the Wild at plus 110. Here would be our two bets, right? And now what we can do is we can go through the math, because a lot of people would be like, you can't make risk-free money sports betting, that's bullshit. And it's like, okay, well, I'll take you through the math. If the Wild win, right, just following this calculator, rounding up to 465, we bet 465 on the Wild at plus 110. So 465 times 1.1, we would be up 511.50 on Bovada. We would be down our $500 stake on Pinnacle, again, just from the calculator. So our net profit would be $11.50. Right? Now, if the Stars win, we're down 465 on Bovada, and our profit on Pinnacle is 500 times 100 over 105. Right? We're staking $500 at minus 105 odds, so our profit's 500 times 100 over 105. So our profit would be $11.19. And again, the only reason it's $11.50 versus $11.19, depending on who wins, is here, if you followed the calculator exactly, you'd be getting $11.34 regardless of who wins. But I'm just saying if you round the numbers, sure, $11.50, $11.19 will be your risk-free profit, but then you have round hole numbers, right? So basically, arbitrage, even if you don't want to make risk-free money, if you're like me and you're like, I want to gamble, it's an important concept in sports betting because it shows you can literally make risk-free money. These sports books are beatable. If you can place a bet on two equal and opposite outcomes and earn a risk-free profit, literally day trading sports books due to inefficiencies in the market, we literally can bet on the Stars right now and the Wild and earn a risk-free profit. Right? 1.16%. Grow our bankroll 30% a month. What this also proves is that profitable bets have to exist. And if you look at the rest of the market, we know one of these bets has to be profitable because we could bet on either Bovada or Pinnacle and earn a risk-free profit. So we know one of these bets has to be profitable, right? If a market is crossed, if arbitrage exists, and I can bet on equal and opposite outcomes and earn a risk-free profit, then one of these plays has to be profitable. So if we go ahead and we look into the odds, it's like, well, shit. Looking at the rest of the market, it's very clear that Bovada is the incredible bet, right? It's an arbitrage play to not only Pinnacle, but when the plus number is greater than the minus number, you have arbitrage for equal and opposite outcomes. It's an arbitrage bet to Betfair, to Bet Online, to Sports Betting AG. So Bovada is just way off from the rest of the market. Looking at any other sports book, it's very clear that Bovada is the side, right? So a lot of people will be like, okay, well, how do you get this profit margin on the EV page? So kind of how you do that is, as an example, we can just look at Pinnacle. If you go to a no vig odds calculator, what this calculator does is it takes a sportsbook's market and tells you how likely that sportsbook is to win according to that sportsbook's market. So for example, Bovada has the Stars favored minus 130, the Wild plus 110. So the Stars are heavily favored. Not heavily favored, but lines are juiced towards them. So according to Bovada's market, where the Stars are favored, right, they're 54.27% to win. And the Wild are 45.73% to win. Now, Pinnacle is minus 105, minus 105. So you put in minus 105, minus 105, both teams are 50% to win, right? One of these teams has to win, or it's a push and you get your money back if there's a tie. But essentially, because Pinnacle is giving you the same odds on the Stars and the Wild, their market, they're getting equal, they're getting action coming in on the Stars and the Wild at minus 105 odds. Lines aren't skewed in either direction. So there's an equal amount of money. There's, let's say, $5 million being bet on the Stars, $5 million on the Wild. We have equilibrium where both teams have the same odds. So both teams are 50% to win, right? The market is implying, Pinnacle is implying through their market by giving you the same odds on both the Stars and the Wild that both teams are 50% to win. So, okay, both teams are 50% to win, but we're getting plus 110 on Bovada. So you can back out your expected value. So Pinnacle's model is saying that the Wild are 50% to win, right? We're getting plus 110 on Bovada. So Bovada odds are plus 110. We're staking, right? I hit this for $1,000. So I'm staking $1,000 to win 1,100 if my bet cashes. So my expected value is this. 50% of the time, right? So 0.5 50% of the time, the Wild are winning this game, and I'm winning $1,100, $1,000 staked at plus 110 odds. The other 50% of the time, Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker out there, said we're winning, losing 50% of the time each. The other 50% of the time, I'm losing my stake of $1,000, right? So the profit margin on this bet is $50, right? The expected value is $50. So my bet has a profit margin of 50%. It's essentially like flipping a coin, heads versus tails. Your friend gives you $1,100 if it's heads. You give your friend $1,000 if it's tails. You would want to flip that coin all day long, right? You still may lose, but it's very clear the odds are weighted in your favor. And that's exactly what positive EV betting is it's gambling with an edge, finding plays that are off from the market where you have very high confidence that your play is profitable based on the real-time price data, in other words, odds on other sports books. So this is how I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars sports betting. I mean, tons of sharp bettors out there. This is how they're making a killing. So if you want to make money sports betting, look for market inefficiencies. You don't even have to use OddsJam, right? Look at the data. All these books are setting lines independently. So hunt through the market, hunt for value, and find plays like this where you're getting the Wild at plus 110 when literally no other book is even giving you above minus 103. Absolutely insane value, high profit margin. Let's make money.